Okay, so I know I haven't done a video in a long time, but I felt like I needed to make a tribute video to Glee because it ended 2 days ago, and funny enough, my birthday is on Tuesday, so, you know, it's like turning 27, living in Chicago in my own apartment for the first time. Glee ended, so basically all of my childhood just came to a screeching halt in 1 week, so I felt like I need to take control and at least channel my sadness somewhere. So I kind of made an outline of what I wanted to talk about. I will try not to make it too long, that's what she said. But some of you are aware of the impact that Glee has had on my life, and I know that a lot of people have said that, and it's just like, oh my god, Glee changed my life, oh no, it did it, just like anything, but it honestly, it really did. So if you want to stick around and watch it, go for it. If you get bored, skip ahead. First off, I'm wearing, which if you know anything about me, you're like, why the hell is she wearing a Kurt shirt? That's not, it doesn't compute. I don't like Kurt Russell as a character. I like how they ended it with him. I think that Blaine made him a great person. But I never really warmed up to him. But my bestie, who is my Kurt, Charlie Vaughn, gave me this shirt because I gave him one. No, wait. Did Amy give me this shirt? Well, I got one for Charlie, and I think Amy got me this shirt. So if I screwed that up, I'm sorry, Amy. I love you. But it says Courage. And I feel like that's an appropriate thing. I do also have a Rachel one that says Dream, and I probably should have worn that one, but I actually can't find it. So we're going to do with Kurt. So, first of all, I think I finally understand what people were going through when Harry Potter ended, because I'll be totally honest, the impact and importance of that whole franchise was lost on me. I've seen the movies, I don't get it. I don't get the fascination. And I'm sure a lot of people think that way about Glee. I mean, let's face it, it was just a big campy musical that ran for 6 years. But, I mean, it was a lot more than that, and especially to me. So, we're going to go back. We're going to explain it, go through the whole rigmarole. When Glee first started, I saw it. Well, I heard about it, and I was like, oh my god. A musical TV show? Yes. Why has this not been a thing sooner? So, I was currently, during that summer, I was with my one and only serious boyfriend. And we watched the sneak preview that was in the summer, and then it was going to come back after 3 months and start a season. But it was giving a preview with the pilot. And I remember watching it in my ex's apartment and being like, oh my god, this show's amazing. And of course, right after he like turned it off and was like, that's so gay. So, flash forward about a month and a half later, that relationship ended. And that was a very devastating thing. Life-changing, life-ruining. I mean, I didn't think I was going to come out of that. But, having watched Glee and watching it come back, I decided to get into theater at the school I was currently attending, Northlake College, because it was a required thing, and I didn't have anything else to do anymore. So, I got into the Northlake Theater Department, and I was still pretty hung up on my ex, and I was a pretty awful person back then. I was 21, I had never been hurt like that before. I was angry. I was sad. I was still being toyed with that guy, and I took it out on these people that I had never met. And because those people met me at a time in my life when I was a horrible person, I was a horrible person to them, and it didn't end well. But luckily, watching that, I went back and I made amends, and I became a part of the Northlake College Community Theater department for a while, and they were like family. Which leads me to how I met Charlie, because Charlie was at Northlake, and we became best friends. And then I was at an awful job. This seems to be a trend. I seem to get things that I hate. I was in a dead-end job. I was just really miserable, and Charlie said that they were hiring at his store, and he worked at Starbucks, which I was like, that is like the greatest job in the world. Oh my God. And he basically pushed his boss, Will, to hire me. So from that began my career at Starbucks, which, as everyone knows, best job ever. Don't know, the Macy's one might pan out to be the best one ever, but so far, Starbucks was the best 4 years of my life in Texas. Also through Northlake Theater Community, I met Amy, who became one of my best friends as well, and I got her a job at Starbucks, so it kind of came full circle. Yeah, and so in that way, I mean, I never would have tried out for the theater thing if I hadn't seen Glee, if I hadn't thought about it. I did acting as a kid, but mostly film and TV, so I hadn't really thought about it, and then I was like, oh my God, maybe I want to be Rachel Berry. Yeah. So that's how that changed my life for that, and even more so from that, that all happened in the first season. I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think that all happened in the first season. So, second season comes around. No! Second season came around and I was still the dead-end job. But, doesn't negate the fact that I still... Anyway. So, second season came around, and I had just watched the Glee project. They had auditions at Fort Worth, back at home. I went out. I was like, oh my God. And in the middle of season 2, there was some talk. There was some talk on the forums that Kurt was getting a... Yes, the forums. Yes. I was that girl. There was some talk that Kurt was going to get a new love interest. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. No. Because if you know, first season Kurt, stalker. Batshit crazy stalker. Like, forget about it. So I was like, oh God, no. Don't focus on Kurt. I can't. And I actually remember the exact moment in my room back at home when Kurt was at this private school and he was approached by this guy, and the guy started singing Teenage Dream, and I was like, what? Who is this? What? Oh my God. So, after that, I went and researched Darren Criss. So, right at that point was when I think AVPS had just come out, like that summer before, because this was in January, February. So I was like, and the funny thing is that I had heard about a Harry Potter musical, but the way that I had heard about it was a Harry Potter musical, and for whatever reason, my mind went to, oh, they're doing a Harry Potter musical in London. I don't know why. I didn't really question it. I didn't really care. But just Googling Darren Criss's name led me to Team Star Kid. So, as everybody probably knows, once I found Team Star Kid, it was all over. In a good way. I started following Team Star Kid, started watching all their stuff. I was immensely in love with Darren at the time. Yeah, it was one of those. But the more that I watched Team Star Kid stuff, the more that I was like, oh my god, they're really good. And then I started watching all stuff that I could get on Team Star Kid. And thus began 4 years of insanity. And because of that little boy on the stairs and under, it led me here. I had never in my life even pondered moving to Chicago. I didn't even, it wasn't even a blip on my radar. I didn't even give it a second thought. I had no ties to it, no desire, no nothing. But once Team Star Kid became part of my life, I was like, Chicago, yes. Yeah. And because of that, here I am in my own apartment, living on my own, making my own money, paying my own bills, being an adult for the first time in forever. Anyway, yeah. So, all of that wouldn't have happened if Glee wasn't around. I mean, it just wouldn't have. I would have well, I don't know if I wouldn't have ever heard of Darren, but I feel like he wouldn't have had as much of an impact on me for me to seek him out and find Team Star Kid. And there's no way in hell I ever would have found Team Star Kid on my own, because I didn't care about Harry Potter, and I didn't know anybody who cared about Harry Potter. And I don't know, I really feel like I wouldn't have ever found them. And that would have sucked, because they are amazing people and they inspire me, and I'm not gonna cry. No. So